Welcome to our Devos. This week we have been talking about starting again, beginning with something that we quit doing in the middle of the year. It's that time of year. A friend of mine calls it the time of great forgetting, where we often forget the things that we wanted to do, the goals that we set out to do at the beginning of the year, and now we find ourselves unable to do them because we're discouraged. Well, today I want to encourage you with this idea. We've kind of been hinting at it throughout the week. When it comes to picking one thing, whether it be something that you've been wanting to do in your relationship with God, connecting with your family, connecting with your work better, more maybe your health, getting more healthy, whatever it is, I want to encourage you to choose small and finished over great and incomplete. Choose small and finished over great and incomplete. I have read more motivation and goal books than I'd like to even remember. But one thing that I've found out about this, and this is fascinating, okay? So psychology says that a lot of times what we do when we post our goals, like a lot of us do it at the beginning of the year, like we say, okay, well, this year I'm going to drop 70 pounds. This year I'm going to save $15,000. Well, you're not saving nothing in this economy, so forget about it, okay? So this year I'm going to, run a marathon. Like we have these big goals. You know that your brain has this little chemical called dopamine. And just the act of you writing it and someone on Facebook saying, yeah, that's awesome, way to go, you're going to be awesome this year. Just that little boost of dopamine that hits, it actually has the same effect as if you completed the goal in your brain a little bit. I know that's shocking to believe, but so many times people want credit for saying they're going to pursue something instead of actually doing something. So one of the new ways about this is by doing little things and letting the results speak for themselves. So don't tell someone that you went to the gym 15 times. Don't tell someone that you just finished reading the book of Leviticus and you still are in the Old Testament, you're still reading. Instead, at the end, show a completed Bible plan. Show a habit tracker of how much time you spent with God. Show these little things all adding up to the actual product that you want. But you have to be willing to choose small and finished over great and incomplete. We love posting great goals, but most of the time they remain incomplete. So what I want to encourage you to do is, and this is really, really important, pick small things that you know that you can do and do them consistently, with ruthless consistency. Ruthless consistency wins over occasional motivation, always. And so if you can get this mindset, because most of the books you're going to read that are written by people that are really, really motivated in terms of how they talk about this stuff and people that are really driven, all of those things, they're going to talk about these big goals they want for. I don't want you to do that. In fact, I don't want you to tell anyone your goals necessarily. I want you to think about small and complete versus great and incomplete. Because if you consistently do small things, it's going to lead you to have greater progress over time. There's a lot of books about this. Atomic Habits is the one that springs to mind most readily. But Luke chapter 16, verse 10, and I love this. Jesus himself says, one who is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. And who is dishonest in a very little is also dishonest in much. I love that you hear Jesus, and he's talking in a parable here, but he's talking about this idea of being faithful in small things. When we're faithful in small things, God enlarges our capacity to handle the greater things. That's how real life change happens. It's us starting small. If you want to start, a lot of times somebody will say, I have a big ministry idea. I want to see 200 people involved in blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why don't you start with a group of 5? Just get 5 people. And it's not as sensational. It's just not as fun to say, oh, I got a group of 5 people, we went and we fed the homeless. Or I got a group of 20 people and we ended up doing a Bible study. I wanted to have 150 people online following me. No, start small. And then what happens is God enlarges your capacity. And then as you complete more and more, you become a greater version of yourself, able to handle more things. Essentially, you've practiced faithfulness. You've practiced discipline. You've practiced doing the thing that you know you want to do, and you've allowed the scale of that thing to be controlled by God. So, start small and complete, and don't worry about great and incomplete. Instead, focus on what you can do and start again.